Hello everyone. Today is the main event. This is Jonathan Little. The main event kind of snuck up on me. I wasn't really prepared for it. When I say I wasn't really prepared, I feel perfectly fine. But I thought I was gonna have a few off days, but instead I got stuck playing the team tournament, and now I had no off days. So I went from playing a final table yesterday to playing the main event today. So that is exciting, nerve-wracking, I don't really know. Normally I have plenty of time to get excited for the main event. There was no excitement build-up. It was just here. So here's the main event. Looks like a pretty full room. We live at table 422, seat 9. Let's go check it out. Here's our seat. Here's our competition. Seems like a lot of fun. Get 50,000 chips. So we are on the first break of the World Series of Poker. We're here at my booth. Red Chip Poker and D&B Poker's booth. We've doubled up in the main event. We started with 50,000. We have 92,000, which is great. I ran one fun bluff. We got lucky, so that's nice. Let's think about how this happened. Under the gun, misclick limped. He thought he was the big blind. He put in 200. It was supposed to be 300. He thought he was limping. I'm sorry, he thought he was the big blind. So he limped oddly. I was in the cutoff, I believe, with 10-9 offsuit. So I raised to 1,200, and only he called. Flop came King 9-2, 3 hearts. I have no hearts. He checks. I bet 1,500. He calls. Turns a queen, offsuit queen, and he leads for 2,500. Normally, I would be quite strong, but he'd been leading a lot. So I decided to make it 6,500, and he pretty instantly called. That's not what we want to happen. River is another 9, so he checked. And at this point, I have to ask if I can get value out of this hand, and it's close. Obviously, he could have a flush. Obviously, he could have a straight. But I thought he might just also be splashing around with a random king, or maybe even a random queen. So if I'm going to bet, I need to bet small. So I did bet 7,000. I thought that might even be a little bit too big. But he instantly called. I assumed I lost. Turned up my trips, and he showed king queen for top 2 pairs. That was a lucky river. After the hand, he kept kind of bemoaning his bad luck. But, 1 second, I'm making a video. But, really, I think I went on any heart. Obviously, a jack gives me a straight, so I think we have lots of outs there. A little bit of a lucky river, but it worked out. So anyway, 92,000, 4 levels into the tournament, or 4 hours into the tournament. Here we are, 4 hours into the tournament. Here's our stack, here's our table. Pretty much the same. One Russian guy seems pretty good in the 5 seat, but it's going well so far. So here we are. At the end of day 1, I have 99,900 chips. I started the last level with 130,000, so it wasn't too good. I really did not have very many cards, and when I did have cards, they made nothing, so I ended up bluffing. So pretty rough way to end the day, despite feeling great up until the last level. I'm trying to think back if I could have done much differently. I mean, I could have played nitty, but we're not trying to be a nit. So I have 2 days off. Tomorrow's gonna be a charity tournament for the charity series of poker. And then the next day is going to be an off day. So looking forward to that. It sounds silly to be disappointed with 1.5 times average in the main event, but I am trying to be honest in the blog. Of course, it's always funny how, like, if I just started the day with 50,000, say I lost half my chips with like kings aces on the first hand, and then got back to 50, I'd be thrilled, but that's not what happened. Wow, the lighting here is brutal. It's funny how you feel at the end of poker tournaments, or at the end of days of poker tournaments, because you can have no chips and feel great, and you can have a lot of chips and feel marginal. And I'm in the lot of chips and feel marginal, but I'm going to take a few days off and be refreshed and ready to play day 2.
Hi, it's Brad Garrett, and you know me as the amateur poker player who's never cashed. But you know, I just read this book by Jonathan Little, Excelling at No Limit Hold'em. Read it twice while I was on the toity. Still don't get the game. But for those of you who have passed high school math, this is the book for you. Excelling in No Limit Hold'em. These are all the people that owe Jonathan money, so he knows what he's talking about. I don't. He does. Get the book.
Poker players, intoxicated poker players, all sorts of madness. It's going to be a blast, everybody. Come on
Here we
down.
are at the charity series of poker, having a lot of fun. Silent auctions. We have some of those. We're gonna play some cards.
To rebuy a lot?
All the big beats come through.
What are you, 45? Nope.
Nope.
There is no
Table
table
45.
Nope.
75.
As you can
Nope.
see,
Have a
I
seat.
am
Have a seat
creating
right there.
my table persona, as Jonathan Little has taught me.
Oh,
Are
you're
you table
terrible.
45? I loved you in the Jewish Billy Jack. How are you? It's called Billy Chachaye. Nice to have you here.
Thank you very much.
Okay, where's the whip?
The whip is back in the room.
Well, I lost the charity tournament. I donated / lost a bit too much. That was kind of frustrating, but that's okay. I also had a few too many drinks, so the goals for today are to have no drinks and to get in a very good mindset going into day 2 of the main event. So I'm going to make that happen. About to have me a nice little lunch. Then we're gonna go film the primetime poker report. And after that, I'm probably gonna play some Magic the Gathering online. So I have a wonderful day lined up, exactly what I want to do. Snapchat for PokerNews.com.
Hey y'all,
Who are you?
I'm Sarah Herring and I'm one of the co-hosts of the Primetime Poker Report, and my mind is currently exploding because of the Mandela effect, so if you want to go onto a YouTube spiral, check it out.
Check out the Mandela effect, apparently. I'll be doing that for the rest of the evening.
Absolutely, and not having a cocktail.
No
but
cocktails.
I will be having a cocktail.
No
but
drinks
he won't.
allowed today. Look at all these people filming us. Hello, hello, hello. We have to play the main event tomorrow, so I have to be a good boy.
Yeah, keep it straight, have like a green smoothie, and do like some sit-ups.
I did that yesterday.
Great, and meditate.
Exactly those things.
Fact. That's how
And
you
I-
win a bracelet.
Yes, hopefully.
I have 1 0 bracelets because I don't do that.
So here I am, busted from the main event. Actually, it's one day after I busted from the main event, because after the main event, I came to the room and had some wine and went to bed. I actually busted on the last hand of the day. Let's talk about the day. Early in the day, I got a fairly quick double up, which was pretty lucky. I was splashing around a bit, made a full house versus a guy who loved to bet when you checked to him. So I checked the turn, he snap jammed all in for a bunch, and I got him. He was drawing to 3 outs, and he didn't get there. So that got me up to 200,000. And then from there, I had queens into aces, kings into aces, ace king into pocket queens, nines into pocket kings, top pair third kicker into top pair second kicker, and then ace king to pocket sevens to bust for my last 20 big blinds. So it was a pretty tough day. I actually feel like I did pretty well with my pocket queens and my pocket kings versus the other player's aces. Both times I raised and I got 3-bet and I just called. Both times the board came all undercards. Pocket queens, I ended up doubling up the guy. The player was a blatant maniac, and I was pretty unlucky that he was the one who picked up aces, so I'm okay with that hand. Pocket kings, it was actually kind of cool. I raised under the gun. Middle position guy who was kind of tight 3-bet, I just called. Flop comes 10-4-2, goes check, check. That's lucky. Turn was a 7. I bet small, something like less than his pre-flop 3-bet. He instantly raised 2.5x, something like that. So I called. River was an 8. It goes check, check. And I'm like, oh, I win this, obviously. But he had pocket aces. So I would have lost way more on that one. Yeah, it's really just a tough day. I had a lot. Well, I actually didn't have very many big hands. I had about 6 big hands. And every time I got a big hand, I ran into another bigger hand. So that sucks. Today, I spent the morning coaching a few students. I need to write a Card Player article. I should probably do that now. Oh, speaking of which, I'm on the cover of Card Player. That's pretty cool. I'll probably show it in my next video blog whenever I get home. It's been a work in progress, and it's finally become a realization. It's the second time I've been on the cover of Card Player. The first time was about 10 years ago whenever I was running hot. Now I'm just running neutral. But yeah, the World Series is basically over for me. I have one more tournament tomorrow. It is a $10,000 buy-in Bellagio Cup re-entry. I plan to rebuy one time if I bust, probably within the first 5 or 6 levels. After that, I don't think there's probably a huge edge to be had. Although, something kind of cool happened at Bellagio Cup a few years ago. All of the weak players got the chips. So the good players kept re-entering. And then the next year, all the good players got the chips. The weak players did not re-enter, and then no pros re-entered. So that's kind of fun. If I find myself on day 2 or 3, or day 2 needing to rebuy, and the field's soft, I might just hop in there. But if it's very tough, I probably will not. So we'll be disciplined. After that, I'm going to go home. I'm excited about getting home. I'm going to have some free time, which is good. Having to play poker 10 or 12 hours per day every day is a good way to wear yourself out. I'm going to be taking on some more private students. If you want private coaching, feel free to hit me up at Jonathan Little on Twitter, or you can go to jonathanlittlepoker.com, fill out the contact form. And I have a book project I'm finishing on increasing your levels of aggression. That's exciting. That's coming up. And I have a few other things happening with pokercoaching.com. So I'm looking forward to all that. I have a lot of things lined up, and I'm excited to tackle them. It's kind of interesting. Whenever I don't play poker for a long time, all I really want to do is play poker. And then when I don't do a lot of poker coaching stuff for a long time, all I really want to do is work on that. So it's like I go through these stages of work real hard on a project, whether it be a book or a new website or a webinar or playing poker for a long time. And then I want to get off of it for a while. So it's about time to get off of poker. It's been a nice summer so far. I think I had 5 cashes, 1 final table for the absolute minimum you could make by final tabling, $3,500. And yeah, 13th place in a 5K, 20th place in a 10K, 50th place in a 3K, and then some barely in the money in a 1K. So, I mean, all in all, if you told me I would cash 5 times at the series, I would sign. I'd be happy as I can be. I'm pretty much even-ish. I think I'm down a little bit, but it is what it is. They changed the payout structure, and that really hurts. So, anyway, tomorrow's a 10K at Bellagio. If I brick that twice, we'll be down. If I win it, we'll be up a bunch.